Malaysians will head to the polls after Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob dissolved parliament in October and called for early elections 10 months ahead of schedule. The premier said that the snap polls could help end political instability that has adversely affected the country's economy. No single political party has ever formed a government on its own in Malaysia. Opinion polls suggest the upcoming election will also be tightly contested and that no single party or bloc will win a simple majority. There are two main alliances trying to win the upcoming elections. First, there is the Barisan Nasional, which is the current ruling coalition led by the United Malays National Organization, a Malay nationalist party. It also includes smaller parties representing ethnic Chinese and Indian minorities. UMNO, as part of the BN alliance, has governed Malaysia for most of the country's history. Then comes Pakatan Harapan, a multi-ethnic opposition coalition led by Anwar Ibrahim's reformist party Parti Keadilan Rakyat. Pakatan Harapan won the historic 2018 election under the leadership of former Premier Mahathir Mohamad, unseating UMNO for the first and only time in the country's history thus far. But the coalition government fell in 22 months due to internal disagreements, resulting in UMNO's return to power in 2020 as part of another alliance. In addition to the economy and corruption-related issues, Malaysians have been frustrated with the politicking that has gripped the country. The country has had 3 prime ministers over the past 2 years. It began with the historic election victory of the Mahathir Ibrahim alliance over UMNO in 2018. Mahathir Mohamad became the world's oldest leader at 92 and was to hand over power to his rival-turned-ally Anwar Ibrahim. But as a result of infighting within the Pakatan Harapan alliance, UMNO managed to make its way back to power within 22 months. However, UMNO too has been involved in infighting both within its ranks and among its alliance partners. Malaysia is a parliamentary democracy as well as a constitutional monarchy. The king plays a largely symbolic role but has certain discretionary powers. Elections are held every 5 years unless the premier calls for an early election. Whichever party or coalition wins a simple majority, i.e. 112 seats in the 222-seat lower house of parliament, forms the government. Campaigning usually lasts for around 2 weeks with 1 day of polling. The election commission typically declares a winner on the same night. Malaysia is a diverse, multi-ethnic country of some 32.7 million people. Ethnic Malays, who are mainly Muslim, and indigenous groups make up about 70% of the population, while the rest is made up of mostly ethnic Chinese and Indians. The multi-ethnic makeup of Malaysia's society has a major influence on the composition of coalitions, with around 21.1 million Malaysians eligible to vote in the upcoming election. There are some 5 million people who will be voting for the first time after the government lowered the minimum voting age from 21 to 18 years old. Ibrahim currently leads the opposition's Pakatan Harapan alliance and will be the coalition's candidate for prime minister. Meanwhile, incumbent Premier Ismail Sabri has been named as Barisan Nasional's candidate to be prime minister again. His predecessor Muhyiddin Yassin will also vie for the top administrative post. As candidate for a third alliance between the Malay-focused Bersatu and Malaysian Islamic Party, PAS. Nana Jinaria Mahathir Mohamad, who also served as prime minister twice, is also leading one of several opposition coalitions looking to unseat the Barisan Nasional. After his split from Ibrahim in 2020, Mahathir formed the Pejuang Malay Party that now heads a bloc known as the Gerakan Tanah Air, or Homeland Movement.